Good morning, third grade. Today is Wednesday, April 15th, and I think it's going to be in the low 60s today, so it's going to be a little cooler. We're going to have a last quarter moon tonight. You can see about 41% of the face of the moon if you look up in the sky. It is going to get warmer Thursday and Friday, so that's the good news. Today we are on lesson 9.5 for math, and I'm going to cover that first, and then I'll go over the language arts lesson real quickly after that. So you're going to need your math journal, and you're going to need the packet that says using the break apart strategy to multiply on the cover. There's a game, an enrichment sheet, and a home link sheet. And I will tell you about those in just a minute. I'm going to start in the math book, in the journal, with the math message. And we're going to be using the break apart strategy today to multiply bigger numbers, okay? All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to read the math message, and then I'm going to tell you what to do with Jonah's garden, how we're going to partition that, okay? All right, so the math message says, Jonah's garden is a rectangle with 16 rows for plants. He wants to plant 2 sections, one with 10 rows of carrots, and the other with 6 rows of beans. Partition, that means break apart, the rectangle and label the sections carrots and beans to show how Jonah could plant the garden. So remember, they said 10 rows of carrots, and you can underline that if you'd like to because it's important, and 6 rows of beans. So we're going to break these 16 rows into 10 rows for carrots and 6 rows for beans, and I'm going to label them carrots and beans. All right, I'm going to move to a whiteboard just so you can see what I'm writing a little bit easier. And then we're going to write number models down here. I'll write them on the whiteboard, but you're going to write them down here and then solve the problem, okay? So, one more time, we have a 16 by 9 garden. 16 rows, 9 seeds in each row, and we made 10 rows for carrots and 6 rows for beans. So I'm breaking 16 into 10 and 6 because 10 plus 6 equals 16. So when I solve 10 times 9, and 6 times 9, and I add them together, I'll have found the same answer for 16 times 9. Are you guys ready? All right, so we're going to multiply 10 times 9. That's your first number model. And that is 90, correct? And now we're going to multiply 6 times 9. If that gives you a hard time, think of 5 times 9 and add 9 more. But 6 times 9 is 54. Okay, and now we're going to add 90 plus 54. So I'm going to stack those up for my third number model. 90 plus 54. And I'm going to add the ones place first. 0 ones plus 4 ones is 4 ones. 9 tens plus 5 tens is 14 tens. And we end up with 144 seeds planted. Because remember, we're planting seeds. Okay? So you're going to write those 3 number models at the bottom of the page. So what you're going to write down here is 10 times 9 is 90, semicolon. 6 times 9 is 54, semicolon. 90 plus 54 is 144. And then you're going to write the answer 144 seeds down here. All right? The next page is just the same, and I'll do the first one with you, okay? And then I'm going to let you do number 2 and 3 by yourself. Remember, the answer key is always at the bottom of our Google Classroom page. So when you're all done with this, you and a parent can go over your answers and make sure you got everything right. All right, so we're going to use the break apart strategy to solve multiplication problems again on page 287, and I'm going to do number 1 with you right now. All right. So use the break apart strategy to solve the multiplication problems. Think of easier to multiply problems that you can use to break apart the larger factor. Draw rectangles, so we need to draw the rectangles, and write number sentences to show your thinking. So you're going to write your rectangles here and your number models over here. First of all, it says I can break blank into blank. So what you're going to write there is I can break 24, excuse me, because that's our big number, into, and then you're going to write 20 and 4. Okay? Now I'm going to draw what that rectangle would look like. I'm going to draw a 7 by 24 rectangle. So this is going to be a long one, like this. Okay, that's what that's going to look like. 7 times 24. All right, and I'm going to break 24 into 20 and 4 because 20 plus 4 is 24. And I can use my basic fact to help me 7 times 20. All right, are we ready? So we have 7 times 20, and I'm going to think of 7 times 2. What's 7 times 2? Right, 14. So now we know 7 times 20 is 140. And then we know 7 times 4 is, that's right, 28. Good job. Do you have those two number models written already? Fantastic. Okay, now we're going to add those two numbers together for our third number model. 140 plus 28. Okay, there's our third number model. Let's add the ones place first. 0 plus 8 is 8. That's the ones. 4 tens plus 2 tens is 6 tens. So now we have 68. And 100 plus nothing is still 100. So our answer for that one is 7 times 7 times 24 is 168. So you're going to write the 7 by 24 rectangle here, break it up into 20 and 4, show the three number models. 7 plus 20 equals 140, 7 plus 4 equals 28, and then 140 plus 28 equals 168, and then you just need to go back up here and write 7 times 24 equals 168, okay? Here's what all of the things you're going to write on in your workbook look like. All right, that all goes right here below number 1. All right, now that I've got you started, will you do number 2 and number 3 by yourself for me? And then we are on to page 288 in our math boxes. You can do that all by yourself. I do want to look at number 4 with you. Number 4 on our math boxes, you might want to go ahead and pause it if you're not ready for that yet and come back to me. Number 4 says, name 2 fractions that are greater than 1/4 but are less than 2 halves. Hint, think about how many fourths are equal to 2 halves. Well, I'm going to make a fraction number line because I think that's the easiest way to do that problem. And they even give you a line. You see that line that they give you? They want you to use that for your fraction number line. So I'm going to draw it bigger on my whiteboard. And I'm going to break apart my fraction number line in 2 different ways. First of all, I'm going to break it into halves. So I'd have 0 halves and 2 halves. And we know halfway between that, we're going to write 1/2, right? So now you have halves. Now you know 0 halves is equal to 0. And 2 halves is equal to 1 whole, okay? Now we can take the same number line and break it into fourths. We just need to draw 2 more lines. And now I've broken my number line into fourths. So I'm going to leave all the half labels there, just like they are, and I'm going to add fourth labels. So 0 would be 0/4. Then I have 1/4. 2/4 is equal to 1/2. 3/4 is next door to that. And then I can see 4/4 is also equal to 2 halves or 1 whole. So this is what your fraction number line should look like when you're all done. All right, then it says, name 2 fractions that are greater than 1/4, but less than 2 halves. So that would be one of these 3 fractions right there. Okay, so make your fraction number line, label it in halves first, fourths second, and then you're going to find fractions, it says, that are greater than 1/4. That means they're going towards the 1 whole, but less than 2 halves. So that would be all of these right here. So you can list 2 of those. Okay, you can list 1/2, 2/4, or 3/4. All right, that was number 4 for math boxes. Okay, so far we did page 286 together. That was the math message with Jonah's garden. We did number 1 on page 287 together, and you're going to do number 2 and number 3, and I would like to see those, so send those to me. We just went over number 4 on the math boxes. I think you can do everything else, but remember, if you get stuck, there's going to be an answer key in our Google Classroom, and you and your mom or dad could look at that. And now I'm going to give you a choice. If you would like to review the break-apart strategy, you'd like a little more review, I would like you to play this game with a parent. You're going to need number cards 1 through 9. And I think you're going to need 4 of each of those. So you can make those, or actually I can attach them. I'll attach them, and then you can cut them up and you can keep them, because we're going to need those number cards again next week. So make number cards. I'm going to give you some extra number cards with bigger numbers on them, but you can just put those to the side. But go ahead and cut up. You're going to need 4 number cards of 1 through 9 each. So 4 1s, 4 2s. That's if you'd like a review of this, and you can play this game with mom and dad. Just read the directions. It's really straightforward. If you feel really good about the break-apart strategy and you're ready for a challenge, and this one is a challenge, then you can do page 314. So this is the enrichment activity, and this one you're going to actually break 2 really big numbers, like 13 times 42 or 12 times 52 into 2 smaller break-apart numbers each. So you're going to have to follow the directions, and that is a challenge. So your choice. You can play this game for a review with somebody in your family, or you can do the enrichment page, okay? Choose which one is for you. Make sure you make a good choice for you, okay? Because you just need to take care of yourself right now. All right, the last thing everybody's going to do is we're going to do the home link, and that's page 315, and it's a worksheet page, and it's also, it says home link 9.5 at the top. Everybody needs to do that, and then turn the picture into me. So what we're going to do is finish the workbook page, finish the math box page, choose either the game or the enrichment sheet, and then everybody does the home link, okay? All right, sounds good. Tomorrow we're going to play a computer game for math. Oh, I also need to mention, you need to be practicing your 11s. So I'm going to put a link on the assignment board and on the assignments that I copy and send to your parents for fun ways to practice 11s. You'll also notice yesterday, and I'll do it again today, I did put that mathrules.com, the 11C and 11D worksheet, and you can work on those as you have time, but we do still need to keep practicing the 11s. We're going to go ahead and take our 11s test next week. And then let's move on to our language arts activity for today. So we have, remember we read Firefighting Heroes and A Favor Repaid. That was the expository text about firefighters, and The Tall Tale about Sal and a bear. And we're going to use those 2 stories. We're going to go through them and do our second close read and find answers to these pages. And it goes 1 through 25. 25 is on the very back. And I'm going to go ahead tonight after I finish talking to you, I'm going to go ahead and make you guys an answer key. So that'll be on the Google Classroom as well. Now I want you to remember, I always tell you this, it says fill in the blank. If it says fill in the blank, you just need to write a word or a couple words. Or write a complete sentence. So if you see lines like this, that means I'm looking for a complete sentence. That means a subject and a predicate, okay? Not just a couple of words. It has to be a complete sentence if it's one of these type of answers, okay? All right, so that's your language arts for today. Remember, tomorrow, Thursday, we're going to have Mrs. Wehunt come to our Google Hangout at 10:30, and we're going to have a library lesson, so I'm really looking forward to that. All right, you guys have a happy Wednesday. Make sure you email me or text me if you have any questions, and don't forget to turn in your work and check the turned in box in our Google Classroom when you're all done, so I can keep track of everybody, make sure everybody's understanding everything, okay? Love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow.